Hello everybody. In this lecture, we're going to learn about arrays. All right? Arrays are pretty cool. This is where C++ starts getting a little bit interesting, all right? This is the cool part. This is what I use a lot in my coding, arrays. And let me just show you, right? So an array is just a sequence of, data types. Yeah, let me just explain, right? For example, let's do an integer, an array of ints. Okay, we'll name it, let's say, names, all right? Actually, int, let's do it test scores, all right? Test scores. We're gonna put these two brackets, and we're gonna do equals and two of curly braces, all right? Test scores. Oh, and how many test scores? Let's do 10. Let's say 9, 9, 4, 6, 3, 7, 7, 2. Let's even do like a 5. And one more. Let's do 8. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 integers in this array, alright? Let's go ahead and run our code, make sure everything runs smoothly. Ooh, we need a semicolon. See, beginner mistake, it's very silly, but that's what happens, alright? So we just declared an array of 10 integers, right? 9, 9, 4, 6, 3, 7, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you get it. And how do we access it? What's the point of this? Well, and see, instead of declaring, 10 variables, we can group all those 10 variables into the same things with test scores. Like, for example, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead write a cout test scores 0. Okay, we'll get into that. You might be wondering why. You might be counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but programming languages, it's not just C++, but it's very, very weird, but it's okay. It starts counting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's kind of weird, but it's okay. So let's go ahead, output test score 0. What is test score 0? Well, let's look. 0, it's 9, so it's going to output 9. 9, as you can see, it outputted 9. So that's pretty cool, but what can we honestly do with this? Okay? Let's go ahead, write a loop. Okay? Let's do for. Hope you remember how to write for loops. Int I equals 0. I is less than 9. I plus plus. Okay? And what is it gonna do? So what's happening in this for loop? It's gonna run the code. It's gonna run whatever's in between these curly braces 9 times. Okay? Cout test scores I. Okay? You can see that our code is starting to look pretty interesting. It looks kind of like in the movies or something, right? Let's write comments so we don't get confused, right? So, variable that holds our test scores. Okay? For example, a teacher might use this, okay, to organize test scores and determine blah blah blah, okay? Run the code 10 times because we have an item of 10 arrays. Okay? And what is it going to do? It's going to output every single item in our array. Okay? Go ahead and line. Write a comment. Output the score at the given place. Okay, go ahead, click run. As you can see, it did 994637725, and it just pretty much outputted our entire array, which is pretty cool, huh? Arrays are used for so many things, especially like big like Google. I can imagine, they must be very crazy arrays, and vectors also. We'll learn about that, but yeah. So we just wrote a code that prints 10 test scores, right? But what if we wanted to find, for example, the average? Okay, that would be cool. Let's say you have 10 students that took a test and you want to find the average of all those tests, all right? Let's go ahead and give it a try. I haven't prepared for this, but let's see if I can do it, right? Just starting from scratch, okay? I'm gonna run the code 10 times, okay? What do we want to do? How do you find the average? You add all the numbers, right? And you divide it by how many, which is 10, right? How many altogether? Let's go ahead do we're gonna make another variable called int total, okay? Because it needs to first add all of this together and store it into a total, okay? Let's do total plus equals test scores I. All right, what does this code do? Well, it's gonna run this code 10 times, right? Because there are 10 items in our array. But we want to add each and every item together. So total, the initial value will equal 0. Let's write a comment. Total value of the test scores, added up. Okay. Now, let's see. What does this code do? It's gonna add all the test scores together. So how does it do that? Well, test scores I, let's start from 0, okay? 0, 9. It's gonna do 9 plus 0, okay? This is equal to 0. This can be pretty confusing, but bear with me, right? 0 and 9. So it's gonna add 0 and 9 together, which is 9. So now total equals 9. Now it's gonna do 9 again, right? Because this will equal 1. It's incremented. And it's gonna do this 10 times. It's gonna add every single item in the array. Now, let's go ahead, output what's the total amount, right? Just to make sure we're all good, that the code is working. It appears I have an error, which is another semicolon. Can you believe it? 52. So our program just added all these numbers together and we got 52, okay? Now, let's divide it by how much? 10, because there are 10 items in our array. The average of the test scores is, and it's going to output it. Output the average of the test scores. Okay, that's simple. Let's go ahead run our code to, of course, obviously make sure it works. The average of the test scores is 5, right? Now, that may not seem 100% right. Why? Well, because this is an integer, right? And we want a number more specific. All right, remember, integers are not necessarily specific. Let's use a float for this, okay? Dividing by 10, we may have some remainder over. So we're going to use a float. It will give us a more precise answer. Right? It's taking a long time. I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to try again. Wow, it sure is taking a long time. I do not believe it. Well, this is a great time for a water break. You know what? I think I'm gonna refresh the page. I'm gonna copy all our code to make sure we don't lose it, right? It appears I have an internet problem. Alright, we got it working. I just refreshed the browser. As you can see, it gave us a more precise answer, which is good, right? So the best part about this code is all we have to do is just change the items in our array. We don't have to do anything fancy and change. We can do, for example, 2, 2, 10 even. Let's write a 10. Let's run it. Now it's a 5.3. Let's say the students in our class are really good, right? I mean, they're getting some good scores. Obviously the average is going to be a lot higher. 7.1. So cool. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you've been watching all the way this long, I hope you have an awesome day.